So this is making me think of Pujya Swamiji talking about Ishvara as the ultimate therapist.
Yeah.
Um, I suppose we should, if you don't mind, also just describing what Ishvara is, Swaminiji.
Yeah. We have, I don't like to use uh, the word God because it is overused and it has
Okay.
been pushed. Various versions of the word God have been pushed, down the throats of people with a stick called religion, a stick called punishment, all these things. So we have a word which is kind of neutral. So we use the word Ishvara. Ish means to reign, the overlord, the protector, the nurturer of all, and Vara means always. So Ishvara. So Ishvara is the super therapist. Our guru used to say Ishvara is the not only the super therapist, but Vedanta is super therapy. Ishvara is the super therapist. He would say that. Yes. So you want me to talk about why?
Yeah, if you, I think you were pointing out some of that with the order. But
Yeah,
if
yeah. So in regular empirical therapy, what happens is that it all goes back to the parents. You see, the primary caregivers.
right.
Given these kinds of parents, of course, you would have to do this, and it's a little bit of a tunnel vision. Because that's how it is. Like it's like a person who goes around says, "This is all because of my horoscope,
Yeah.
and this is all because the Saturn is in the wrong place. That's why I don't have any opportunities in life, and my Rahu is in the wrong place. That's why I have so much bad luck." So it's like a tunnel vision, and in this funneled vision the person is forgetting, yes, Rahu is there, but who told you that that's the ultimate? Why do you have free will? And how come you don't see that? So that's what it is. There is a tunnel vision. And the psychotherapy also, because the human being is kind of a what's the word for it, likes to kind of an obsessive personality, generally speaking. So the person latches on to say, "Oh, I had bad parents and this is what it is,
Yeah.
and I had difficult childhood, that's why it is, and my sibling took away my toys at age 3, that's why I am like this." But then that's not, that may be an explanation, but that's not an excuse. You see what I'm saying? And so here in psychotherapy, sometimes what happens is that there is a difficulty in seeing beyond, at least in the traditional
Right.
psychotherapy.
Yeah.
Now, I think psychotherapy is also widening to keep in mind people's spiritual beliefs and kind of take them there, because we have a lot of very, what should I say, wonderful therapists. There was a
Yeah.
conference I attended recently on Hinduism and psychotherapy. Did you know about that?
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I'll send you some information
Okay, that
about.
would be great.
So there I was very pleasantly surprised and very happy to see that the people who attended this conference, they were all psychotherapists other than myself. And they were all saying how much how much the field itself has expanded, and how
Yeah.
these people who are on the cutting edge of their careers and professions, they encourage people to bring an icon to the therapy, or a photograph, or of anything that they worship, or something from their altar. And so they make it much more, much more all rounded. But traditional psychotherapy would stop. They wouldn't have any more explanation other than the parents or the background. Okay.
Right.
This was because there is, especially in the West, this is because there was always a feeling like, okay, we shouldn't bring in religion. We should just have a secular therapeutic session, and then that's but the sad part about that was that, especially if you're talking about Hinduism, the person is first a devotee and then a son or a daughter, a mother or a father or a spouse. So that, because the religion is just sits differently, because it's not an organized religion, it is gained by osmosis. And so therefore, there is the person coming to therapy is already feeling alienated from the source of the universe. And so here, if all the explanation goes and centers around one's background, then one is not able to go beyond that. And then at the same time, because one is born or raised in the Hindu culture and the Hindu tradition, it doesn't sit right and sit quietly along with statements such as Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava. May you be the one for whom mother is an incarnation of God. May you be the one unto whom the Father is an incarnation of God. Well, they are not God, they are behaving in really odd. Okay, but still but still there is that the heart doesn't sit very well with keeping on blaming only the caregivers or only one's background all the time. So therefore there is a little bit of a disharmony, a dissonance.
Yeah.
And so therefore what Vedanta does is that it takes it to another level. It looks at, it looks at the fact that it looks at the what you said about acceptance. It looks at the law, and then it talks about how the law is inevitable. And here we are talking of the law of karma. Whose karma? One's own karma. It's not the karma of the neighbor that I'm having to expend or exhaust. It's my own karma, done either in this life or in previous lives, doesn't matter. And here again, this is a wonderful therapeutic tool to think about life after life after life. And those traditions where you just get one shot, this is just one
Yeah.
life, and it is difficult. But
Right.
here we have a long, duration to come to terms with one's own omissions and commissions and desires and growth, emotional growth, spiritual growth. And so here, if one says, okay, this is inevitable because this is karma. So I have a choice. I have a choice to rave, to rant, to struggle, and to keep on, banging my head against the wall that is called karma. Or I have a chance to use the karma for my own spiritual growth through what is called karma yoga, through becoming a devotee, through transcending my past. And how to transcend the past? Lay it at the feet of Ishvara. That is how to make a repast of the past. And so you lay it at the feet of whatever way in which you invoke the Lord, the Goddess, anything. And you place it at the altar. You ask for help. You ask for help to overcome difficult emotions. And then in the Hindu iconography, we have, whether we talk about North India or South India, all the manifestations of the goddess and God are all smiling. So, and then they are giving this, which is called Abhaya Mudra, which in English means don't fear, I am here. Okay, so this is Abhaya Mudra. And so they are all smiling and offering you solace right there. And then the beauty of the tradition is that this altar can be used to grow. And then we have in the tradition stories of saints who kicked the Shivalinga out of anger. But still, Shiva said, oh, this is my true devotee. There is a story there, I forgot the name, but there was a story of a saint in eastern India, in medieval India. And he was seen as mad. Nobody recognized him as a saint. And then he lived in an abandoned premise of a Shiva temple, which nobody was praying to, and it had just gone into disuse. Then the city expanded, and suddenly the temple was rediscovered, and people got very excited. Somebody came and cleaned all the underbrush. Somebody repaired the doors, and somebody, gave it a nice paint and repaired all the things that were falling apart. And then they said they will have a nice reconsecration of this temple. And then some priests were appointed, and then this man was hanging around there. And then they were aghast to see that he would go into the sanctum every day. The workers and the priests were aghast because he would have his own way of worshipping. So he would say, "Hey, you, you are crazy." He would tell the Lord. She would tell Shiva, "You are crazy. You know that? You want a bath here?" And he would spit on the Shivalinga, and then he would say, "Oh, then now you want me to wipe you?" And then he would take some dirt from the earth, and then rub it on that. And then he would kick the Shivalinga and then go out. And then kick not the Shivalinga, but the pedestal on which it stood. And then he would leave. He said, "Okay, I'm done with my puja, worship." and and the priest was aghast, and they caught him, they blindfolded him and put him in another part of the town. And he, because they thought he was mad and he was desecrating the temple. And when the story goes that when the appointed day came to open the temple, the doors would not open. And the priest sat there in meditation to find out what omissions must have been done on the day of consecration. And immediately he understood that that man must be brought, unless he is present, the doors would not open. And lo and behold, that man was caught and brought back. And as soon as he came, he started to yell, even before coming, "Hey, you," and all kinds of four-letter words, "You, Shiva," and you want your bath. And then immediately the doors opened, and he was the first one to worship the Shivalinga.
Yeah.
And, so that is how it is. So in our tradition, this is not blasphemy. This is a form of worship. Even the Sri Rudram, the holiest of chants, it's got a lot of therapy in it, lot of psychotherapy in it. And there, you can call the Lord, "You miserable one." And what are you blind? Why are you giving me so much punishment? What have I done to you? And take away all these difficult karmas, because otherwise I'm not even going to look at you. These are the things that you say to the Lord. And in a way that it makes the relationship real. You see? It makes it real. And then when it becomes real, then you all the projections and the transference that you have, you put it on the goddess, you put it on the Lord, you put it on Hanuman, any form, any kind of what we call Ishta Devata, any kind of a desirable manifestation, a relatable manifestation, and then one finds oneself cleansed of those feelings. And so, therefore, because it makes one accept the inevitable, devotion and surrender, which Vedanta teaches. That's why Vedanta is super therapy. And that's why Guru, Ishvara are super therapists, because they don't talk back, but yet they help you transform completely to accept that which one cannot change. So you go beyond the parents, which is like a tunnel vision, So it's not like a funnel anymore. You open it up to see that there is, this is a vast order. And when you see that, you can't but fall in love with it.
Yeah, and it seems like if a psychotherapist is working with someone who is coming from a Hindu background, that these are very important concepts to understand, of karma, bringing in karma, bringing in the concept of relating to a devata, bringing in and also not villainizing parents, right? That is not it goes against the culture.
It's not so much that it goes against the culture, but it's in the sense of it's better to talk about the background rather than just the parents. That's much better, because there's already a little bit of a space. And then it's better to talk about how it's better to gently steer the person to think or to see how one found oneself in this situation. What is, what perhaps is something that has happened that has given you this parentage. Why do you have this background? And the answer to that is much broader than just two people in one's life or one siblings or, relatives. Yeah.
It opens it up to just
Yeah.
being.
Yes.
That's helpful.